Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Elyse Hosts Live. Tonight, on this February the 3rd, 2023, I'm so happy to kick off our first series for Black History Month. Who's making Black history? And we're going to start right here in Cincinnati, Ohio. So, if you're tuning in live or if you're catching this after the fact, we welcome you. You can subscribe to the channel, to follow any of the upcoming podcast posts, and definitely click on not only subscribe, but definitely like it depending on which platform, because that helps the protocols to increase the population for any new segments that we have coming forward. So logistically, also you'll notice too, if you feel like commenting, etc., feel free to do so. If you have any questions, we are happy to answer those live. Tonight, we're going to kick off Who's Making Black History right here in Cincinnati, Ohio. We're in our studios here in Cincinnati, and we are having a wonderful individual join us. So, everyone, give a round of applause, definitely for Miss Sharen Sierra. Everybody give her a round of applause. Hello, Sharen.
No,
Welcome,
let's
welcome,
let's
welcome, welcome. We're so excited to have you tonight. So, if you will take a moment, go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone that is joining us. You've got some really good information to share with us.
well, first I want to thank you, Elyse. She empowers Jenkins for having me on your Black History show. It is February 3rd, 2023. And as you mentioned, our community is going through and progressing and changing lives every day. I am Sharen Sierra King. I am Alice King Young's daughter, who taught me at a very early age about the importance of sharing and giving back through our community, and the importance of acknowledging and knowing our history and being part of the history of our future. I am a native Cincinnati, and I've been very blessed. I have three brothers, numerous family members who I cannot begin to name because they tell me they're related to me because my mother was a very loving and open door woman. My dad was one of the first African American bus drivers for Queen City Metro. And then the person who fostered and raised me as a father was an amazing man from Tennessee, grew up on a farm, hardworking, and most of all, they loved and empowered me to have wings to fly. Oh, and I'm an auntie of 9, which I
Yes.
cannot not mention my 9 nieces and nephews, multicultural individuals, changing lives and doing things in the community. Most of all, I am God's daughter.
Absolutely love it. Hey, Sharen, so we can kick this off and get right
Yes.
into it. Why don't you share with us? We have a lot historically that is currently going on, has gone on. Give us some thoughts about Black history, what it means to you, any nuggets that you want to share with those that may be tuning in, whether it's a student, a young child, anyone, anything historically. Go ahead and share just a quick thought on Black History Month.
Well, first of all, my nugget is we are all Black history. That's my first nugget. Each and every one of us, but melanin in our skin, we are Black history. Most importantly, we need to know from whence we came, where we are, and be a part of the future of where we're going. That's my biggest nugget. That's what I was taught and ingrained in me every day. It is up to us to be a part of the history, remember the history, learn from it, and share it going forward.
I love it. History now seems that there are a lot of events going on in different states, legislative. There are bills to pass, laws that are getting passed, at unfortunate events, and then at some very positive events and historical moments. So, without
Yes,
getting deep into those, I think it's critical that we host podcasts and segments such as this to highlight the positive activities that are going on all around us and how individuals can get involved with give back, and to help shape our future leaders. For me, I'm a big education advocate. We're all public servants in terms of you and I knowing each other. And I
Yes.
believe that our democracy is under attack. And I
Oh,
also believe that our education sits on the cornerstone of almost every issue around that. So it's imperative that we get involved and participate in supporting community activities. So tonight, I would love for you to share information about the Miss Black Cincinnati. What is it? What are the different parts and aspects of it? And just kind of walk us through a little bit of history and make us aware of just what is the Miss Black Cincinnati.
well, thank you, Elyse, again, because what you were saying about being under attack is very relevant. I was in Florida recently, and I have a mentee who is in education there, and I'm an advocate like you. And we're under attack on every level, state, local, and federal. And I think that one of the most, as an advocate, and I can only say that I'm thankful for you and everything that you do and everyone. Miss Black Cincinnati, Miss Black Teen Cincinnati is an organization founded by Robert and Jackie L. Humphreys 43 years ago. For Miss Black Cincinnati, 32 years ago for Miss Black Teen Cincinnati, which if you think about the longevity of any organization, that is a powerful statement right there. The pageant in itself is about social justice, empowerment, community engagement, self-confidence, and building a sense of community among sisterhoods of women that are brown, tan, and beige. The color says Black, but the history says all of us. We are actually in the time capsule, as you know, of the city of Cincinnati through the Cincinnati Public Library System. So 100 years from now, when they dig up this time capsule, we, an organization of over 1,000 African-American women, will be included in the history of the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, Dayton, Ohio, and Indiana, the tri-state, due to the excellence of the pageant itself and those of us who still participated like yourself. We now have an executive director, Donald L. Sherman, who is also the executive director of the Cincinnati Black Theater Company. And he is determined to empower and expand the organization. Most of all, it is we, the prior contestants, and the present contestants, and those who are to come. It is incumbent upon us not just to wear the crown, but to carry the torch for empowerment of women, young women ages 17 to 23, that will go on in history to change lives.
I
That
love
is
it.
our role.
Now, you shared with us who actually, I hear a little echo. I want to make sure. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you perfectly.
Okay, great. So you shared with us who actually founded it, Mr. Humphreys, him and his wife founded it years ago. You also stated that if anyone is very interested in finding out more about the history in the archives right in the library in Cincinnati, Ohio, they can go
Yes,
in person or electronically and pull up
electronically.
all of those program guides from throughout the years that any of the participants, any of the information, any of the ads at that time are archived where they can see the historical data associated with the Miss Black Cincinnati. You spoke
Right.
on the fact that it's very empowering and a platform for a lot of young ladies, and myself included. I was in the Miss Black Cincinnati, and it is a platform that provides a lot of positivity.
Yes, all
Ages
about positivity. Yes,
17 to 23, did you say?
yes.
Okay, 17.
13 to 17 is Miss Black Teen Cincinnati, and 17 to 23 is Miss Black Cincinnati.
Awesome, awesome. So today, how does anyone get involved with the pageant? And I know that there's different aspects, whether it's the
Well,
participants. Let's start out with the participants. how would a considering participant get involved with the Miss Black Cincinnati today or
The most
Team
beautiful,
Cincinnati?
the most beautiful thing I feel about the pageant is that all are welcome. And it's really simple. Cincinnati Black Theater Company, which is a astounding organization, is now the umbrella of the Miss Black Cincinnati, Miss Black Teen Cincinnati. We are under the umbrella of CBTC as a nonprofit, which allows us to do so much more to empower these young women and for sponsorship as well. So it's that simple. Cincinnati Black Theater Company.org, CBTC.org. The Cincinnati Black Theater Company is the self-sustaining Black theater company, well known throughout the tri-state, and you can find us online.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, for those of you who are viewing in, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We are hosting today. I am hosting Sharen. She's sharing information about the Miss
Wait,
Black Cincinnati. So, Sharen, you talked a lot about the founder. Tell us a little bit more about our new executive director, Don Sherman. You touched on a little bit about the Black theater, but tell us a little bit more about him and what he brings to the table and the benefits to the organization and the nonprofit itself.
well, I can't talk about Donald Sherman without talking about Paula Sherman
Okay.
because they are both entrenched in the tri-state. Paula, his wife and helpmate and friend, is over the Woodline Recreation Center. Donald Sherman is an engineer by profession, but a servant of God by dedication. He's volunteered with the pageant for over 20 odd years as a stage director, and he has kept us all in line and on time. And over the last couple of years, he has been shadowing Mr. Humphreys and learning all of the executive producer role, which he already does with the theater company. And he has stepped into that role without missing a beat. He now oversees every aspect of the pageant, and Mr. Humphrey is executive producer emeritus. So he is there and love, and he is now overseeing the growth of the RLH Alumni Association, which we both are a part of, as well as over 1,000 women, so that we can get back through our mentorship, our information, our powers of Black women that are involved in the community worldwide, to be a doorway and a passageway for these young women to know that they have help along the way. So Mr. Humphreys is overseeing that aspect of it, and Mr. Sherman is overseeing the day-to-day operations leading up to the pageant, which is April the 1st, 2023, which will be held at Corinthian Baptist Church, who has been absolutely amazing to partner with us, as is every church in our community. We have been at New Prospect with so many churches. I don't want to start naming. But most of all, we are a vehicle. We have amazing patronage. We have amazing participants. Jan Michelle Kearney, who is vice mayor, and her husband, Eric Kearney, have been absolutely wonderful throughout the years. Former Senator Eric Kearney, let me give that, who is now the executive director and president of the Northern Kentucky Cincinnati African American Chamber. We have had such tutelage handed to us on a platter, on a platinum platter, that I could sit here and go on for days about that, but it's just as important to share that we are only as strong as our strongest link. And that goes back to 1980. 1979, Mr. Humphreys had a vision because he was working in the justice system and saw a lot of programs for African-American males and very few for African-American females. And God put it on his heart as a servant to be a vehicle for young women to find their voice and their self-confidence.
I
And
love that you mentioned. You are exactly right. Has been such a vehicle in the connectivity at moments notice when he does ask for support. I think we're all in. We look up to him like a father, but keep
yes,
going.
we do. We do. And not just us, the participants, but the community. He doesn't do it for the accolades. He nor Miss Jackie do it for the accolades, but there's not a proclamation or award for community service that neither one of them have they've been bestowed with that. But they're so humble. And
Mhm.
that's why I think we all answer the call because we see by their guidance and their footprints that it's all about God.
That's it.
Yeah, so Black history is ours to make every day. Every day
Mhm.
you make Black history. Since I've moved home and I've learned so much more about you, and you and your hubby are changing lives globally
Mhm.
and making footprints, not just in your personal lives through your families, but in the lives of others through the work that you do through your vocation and in your passion for the community. And now that you are increasing your educational footprint, lives will be changed and doors will be opened.
I receive you so very much. Let me ask you this. So, for the young ladies that are interested, all can be involved, participants. You shared how they can get involved. I noticed that, and I know historically we're at a lot of events throughout the year to highlight the participants, to give exposure, to build confidence. How about those who may want to not necessarily participate, but maybe they might want to sponsor? What are some of the other ways that any
Wow.
viewer watching this right now can get involved?
Well, we are a community based nonprofit, and we welcome any and all participants who either want to give time, donations through in kind sponsorship, or monetary sponsorship. We have ventured out and partnered with local corporations, and even now our own past pageant participants are, including myself this year, we are sponsoring essay competitions. So if you have an in kind sponsorship, if you have product, or have, if you want to provide, we do the lunch for the judges and for the girls. I had someone reach out to me recently who was at the pageant last year. Her daughter at that time was, I think, 4, and said, "Wow, mommy, look, Black princesses."
I
And
love
she works for one of our sponsors, Eastern Personnel. And she called me 2 weeks ago and said, "I would love to have the honor of doing you all's t-shirts."
Oh, wow.
So there's in-kind sponsorship, there's monetary donations, there are volunteer opportunities, and most of all, your love and your prayers. And as we go out to the community, we go to schools, senior homes. The young ladies, who they're all winners, Mr. Humphrey says. So we include everyone. We do the Black Family Reunion. We do MLK Day. We go to churches. We are here to serve the community, and we're here to empower these young women with skills and tools to be successful. We, this past year, both of our winners, Miss Black Teen Cincinnati, Miss Joy Burton, Miss Black Cincinnati, Olivia Riggs, are social justice advocates. They are on point for being involved with changing lives and working in education. Miss Olivia Riggs will be going on to law school. Miss Joy Burton is still in high school. She's involved with so many activities, gymnastics, track, public speaking. This month, she will be involved in a program at the National Freedom Center. So, and then the other young ladies, we work really hard to make sure that they also continue to have a voice and are welcome to participate. And we have no age. I mean, we have no weight or look specifications. This is not about being anything more than more beautiful internally and externally as God has made them. We
Hmm.
do not judge. We have 4 categories. they meet with the judges. And this is when their personality shines through. This is when they have questions. Each person meets individually with the judges, and the judges, I don't know the numbers this year, only Mr. Humphreys knows, and they can ask on the spot questions. So their personality shines through and their confidence shines through, which we work with them every week on that. And then they have the talent contest. And if you don't have a talent, I didn't. We have amazing talent coaches with the Hammonds and Deborah Stewart, Ara Samuels, who's a former Miss Black Cincinnati. We have Avery Hammonds plays every instrument. His wife is an amazing choreographer, as is Deborah Stewart, and all of them have had preparatory and school and training. And then we have the talent, we have the presentation with the judges, we have the impromptu question, which we work with them. We have an amazing diction coach, which was mine, Miss Cleaster Mims, who brought to Cincinnati the first Marva Collins Preparatory School. She comes in from her home in Florida and she works with the young ladies. And then, of course, you have impromptu, which we're praying and hoping that our host will be back this year. And then you have with judges, you have your personality, you have the talent, and I'm missing one.
Girl, we have it all. Any of the leaders in Cincinnati, they are all involved,
They're all involved,
proven and accomplished in their careers. Yes. I love how you highlighted all of that. And it feels so good to be a part. Okay, so take a moment, walk the viewer through what the flow is on the day of the pageant. What is the flow like?
Ooh, do you remember? Yes. Oh my goodness. The flow is calm.
Yes.
Actually, the flow is calm because at that point, the girls have had over 3 months of training. So actually, the flow is calm. Once they arrive, they have their amazing trainers and teachers, Miss Angela Grayson, Kiki, we call her, and I'm missing one, Ara Samuels, Sharonda Moore, me, I'm just there to make sure everyone is there. I make sure the judges are sequestered. Nobody knows who the judges are until they appear in their seats. And then they have a small rehearsal. And Mr. Sherman, our executive director and stage director, along with his staff, we start on time. It's like lights come up, girl, I walk out, I MC the event, the girls come out and it's on. I mean, this is not a production that starts a half hour later. We start on time. We are professionals.
I love it.
And I want to say this about the alumni. The alumni are there to help and coordinate, make sure the girls are looked after, make sure that their lunch is served, their hostess, and make sure that all of our sponsorships, our sponsors are acknowledged. We have some sponsors that have been with us since the very beginning of the pageant.
Okay.
That's a lot.
It's always such a pleasure to come in and help out and remember what it was like when we were going through to practice and get to the day of the action.
You're younger than I am. I remember going, where am I? You're younger than I am.
It's always so nice to get to that point, and it's nothing like it at all. So there's a photographer on hand, picture.
Pete Coleman, our in-house photographer, Mr. Pete Coleman, perfect exposures. Yeah.
And so for those that, let's say, if they're not participating, they can write a check, they can donate, they can spend time, they can help coach or counsel, they can perhaps run an ad in the program book, and they can actually attend the event as well.
Yes, it's open to the public, and it's like the best. I mean, I'm always floored. I've been home for 9 years and been participating with the renewal of the pageant for, I think it's the last 7. And I am floored by the parents and the public, and we have the curvy models who come out and support us. Hey, ladies, They have their own pageant, and they are front row and center with their crowns and rooting the girls on. And then they actually include some of our past participants in their endeavors. We have amazing participation from the tri-state and from our local clergy, our local public officials, our media personalities. It's a wonderful journey.
When I look back, I look at individuals like some of the participants are now judges, they are high ranking politicians. We've got a number of them, city, state, on a national level. Um,
National level.
then we have individuals that are from other countries, but
Yes, we
it's right
do.
here in Cincinnati. And so to be a part of this,
Yeah.
this is absolutely amazing. Sharon, talk
Yes.
to us about this amazing opportunity as an alumni that we're working on
Wow.
and just how elite it is or how once you are part of give us a little bit more information about the alumni of the Miss Black Cincinnati.
Well, for me to do that, I have to start with you because you are an amazing contributor to lives in general. Your expertise and your talent and your willingness is exactly what we ask of our alumni. These young ladies, I participated in pageants that were not at the same Atlanta as I, and I knew I would never win. And yet here we are, you and I and others that have participated, and whether or not we wore the crown or placed, we now give back. And our alumni are globally located. Procter & Gamble executives, public speakers, teachers, educators, public officials in California running for council and mayors. I look on the television screen, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm so person in film and locally, you know, mothers, most of all, aunties, grandmothers that now can ask of their village to participate. And it's been an amazing journey. And I can't think of anyone that I would want to do this with more than the alumni women that I've met since I've come back and those I knew before. My class is in deep. And I want all of us to know that our voice is wanted and needed. And we need your knowledge. We need your expertise. We need you to mentor, share, reach back, and bring forward.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so very much. So for those that are watching, whether you are considering, you have an option, you can participate. If those that are watching this right now are wondering, how can I get involved? You can reach out to Sharon or myself. If you're wondering, well, perhaps I don't have a child or a daughter, I
I
may
don't
not
have
be
one.
you might know someone or you can sponsor someone in
Yes.
terms of being there to support them. Again, there's different ways to get involved, and it's so rich. And what a better way to kick off for this
Well,
month of Elyse Hosts Live, this Who's Making History, Black History in Cincinnati, than
Black women.
Sharon. And
Black women.
that's right. And what we've done, in various aspects, specifically here in Cincinnati. And I go on to a number of our alumni are in education. So
Uh,
they are
Health.
teachers,
Yeah, they are.
principals, that
They
type of
are.
thing. I would love to see our school districts all throughout the greater Cincinnati area embrace this during this month and say, hey, to individuals, did you know about the Miss Black Cincinnati?
Yeah,
And
Miss
get
Black Cincinnati, Miss Black Teen
in
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. That's right. And get the young ladies involved. What's the best way that they should reach out to get involved if there is an educator or an administrator looking to recommend a young lady to participate? How should they get involved and whom should they reach out to?
Good question, Elise. You're an amazing host. We have had that happen a lot this past year where we've had school counselors and outreach coordinators have us come and speak at the schools, which we're happy to do. And then they have had a informal gathering of parents and young ladies. So to do that, again, it's really simple. Cincinnati Black Theater Company, all the information is there, direct phone numbers, emails, and we answer because we want the participation. So if you are a social organization, I do not have biological daughters, but I have a whole slew and host of them through coaching, mentoring, and I always just say, if you speak into their ears with love in whatever venue you want them to excel in, they will listen. So if you are a coach or an educator or a mother, an auntie, a grandmother, if you're involved in your church, your social organization, your sororities, we welcome each and every young lady between the ages of 13 and 23. We welcome the opportunity to work with them. We welcome their participation. And most of all, we welcome your love and support.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So thank you so very much. We have heard lots of great information here about the Miss Teen and the Miss Black Cincinnati.
I
We
share
know
one.
that it's 13 all the way up to 23,
Yeah,
two
I am
different groups. 13 is 15, 13 to 16.
13 to 17,
Okay.
and then 17 to 23. They just can't be 24 the day of the pageant. I also wanted to say thank you, Elyse, and I wanted to say it is Go Red Day for women. African American women suffer the highest rate of mortality through heart disease. So remember that February 3rd, 2023 is about our health. And so it is Go Red Day. Elyse is wearing red lipstick. I'm wearing red lipstick because we care about you women, all women, but we want to make sure that we speak to our sisters about the importance of good heart health.
Thank you, Sharen. Any closing remarks that you'd like to share?
Um, I want to just share this that my mother always shared, that foot soldiers like Elyse and I win the war. Everyone can't be a general, but everyone can be a foot soldier and servant in God's army. And we're the ones who make the difference.
I love it. Very good. How many, if anyone is interested in getting a hold of you, how can they get a hold of you?
Very simple. I'm probably the only Sharen Sierra. It's really simple. I work in success strategies. I have a company that works with General Motor dealers, but I also am a public speaker and do workshops across the country on not vision boards, but manifestation of winning with success strategies. And it's 212-381-1777. And it's SharenSierra.com. So ask SharenSierra.com. And I'm sure Elyse will post that on the screen. But most of all, I just want you all to know that this is your day for a breakthrough.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes. So, given that, we want to thank everyone that's tuned in. Definitely share this segment with others. Remember, if you're not a participant, you can help in a number of different ways, whether it's writing a check, sponsoring someone, referring this segment to someone. If you're in a position where you know young ladies through the age range 13 to 23, definitely get the word out. Think about the history that is being made from Mr. Humphreys, him and his wife, all the way up throughout the years. You're talking 40 plus years now, right here in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Now we've got Don Sherman that's come on board. We've got a number of young ladies like myself, Sharen, that's been a part of it, that are carrying the torch further. We challenge you that if not now, then when? Definitely get on board. Help us
Perfect.
continue to make history because, again, I believe that there is a strong attack on our democracy and to rip away who we are at the core of how we were created. And
Yeah.
this platform is to esteem young ladies who can further help our communities and help others grow. Thank you all for joining in and have a wonderful, wonderful
Thank
week.
you, Elyse. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, Sharen. Definitely love kicking it off with you. Everyone, have a good evening, and we look forward to hearing from you.